Hey gentlemen, today we're just going to be doing a quick loadout overview of what I like to run if I'm not running my light machine gun. So, starting off, we got the A&K M16A4, very solid gun, long barrel on it, so you get a little more velocity than your standard M4. I run a ACOG on it that does not run on batteries, believe it or not. It is powered by sunlight that you get, that little red bar up there. The more light there is on it, the more illumination there is on the red dot inside the optic. Now, other than that, that's probably it for the M16. Besides tons of battery space and reliability, it's pretty good. Next, we go down to the WE High Kappa pistol. I don't have much to say about it, except it's a very reliable pistol. I highly suggest getting CO2 magazines for it, because the gas valves on your standard green gas magazines do tend to break more easily. Next, we're going to go onto the battle belt here. I hope I'm not butchering this, but it's the IK Tactical Molly battle belt. I picked it up on Amazon for about 30 bucks. I've ran it once or twice, and it's done its job fairly well. I also have a Condor holster on there for my High Kappa, and some M14 magazines on there, because when I do run my M14, the plate carrier can't handle the weight. We'll get into that later. Next, we're going on to the dump pouch, which is just like a standard Condor dump pouch, but it does its job very well, and you could put quite a few magazines in there if you really tried. Next, we go on to the plate carrier. Now, this is a Matrix JPC plate carrier, and just going to get a quick rundown on it. Up here, I got 3 M4 magazines. Now, the only complaint I have about this plate carrier is that it's held on by Velcro. So, if you really move it around a lot and you're putting a lot of pressure on it, there's a good chance that the magazines will start falling off the plate carrier. Next, we go on to the Boafeng radio. This is a, let's see, UV5R series. It's great, honestly. I highly suggest getting one of these. They're not too expensive radio-wise. They could connect to any channel that you could probably think of, and good reliability, solid construction, believe it or not. And overall, it's not too heavy, so it's not going to be weighing you down too much if you're worried about that. Next, we go on to the next side of the plate carrier, which is where I keep all my grenades. Now, I only run 2 on me, just for, price purposes. But here is a, try not to pull the pin on this, a Taggin M67 frag grenade. Now, I love these. They're a lot better than your standard Enola Gay grenades, because they have weight and they're so much more loud and a bigger boom within. So I highly suggest getting these if you ever get your hands on them. Usually you pick them up at Airsoft Junkies, but the price has gone up due to probably the Ukraine-Russia conflict, since these are made in Russia, and plus it's technically an explosive considered by the FDA or whatever it is, I don't know. Anyway, next, it's just your standard Enola Gay smoke grenade. I mean, you can pick these up for 10 bucks at your local Airsoft store. If you highly suggest getting one of these, just because you could cover a whole big area with them, and you can move through cover to cover without them seeing you. So, that's a good suggestion setup right there. Next, go to the back of the plate carrier. I run a I'm not sure about the measurement of how much water it could hold, but it's just a standard Camelback. I run the straw, or frick you call it, all the way up here for tactical purposes, and then I just have a little pouch on here for any storage you might need. Now, you could probably pick up this plate carrier for about, I picked it up for 70 bucks at my local Airsoft store, so I'm not sure how it's going to be anywhere else. But if you really just want a minimalist plate carrier, I suggest getting this. And the last thing we're going to is the helmet. This is just a standard Emerson gear helmet. It's one on the expensive side, up to 70 bucks, but that's because I hate the chin straps on the cheaper helmets that run down around 40 bucks, since they feel like crap on your chin and they don't really work all that well. So get a helmet with a chin strap like this, already set in place like this, and you should be running fine. So I highly suggest getting one of these helmets. Next is just some standard Revision goggles you could pick up from your local military surplus, which is what we did. And we ended up picking them up for about 20 bucks instead of having to spend usual 40 to 70 on revision goggles. And I think the last thing we'll cover here is just your standard mesh mask. Now, a great thing about fast helmets, bump helmets, you can clip your mesh mask into the side of this, and that's really going to help you from losing it in the middle of a firefight, and it keeps it tight on your face. So I highly suggest running a setup like that. And I think that's just about going to cover it for the standard loadout I like to run. Thanks for watching, and I probably won't post for another like 20 years because I don't have any ideas.